everybody, welcome to Current Events Vlog. Sorry I'm a bit underdressed for the occasion. You can see my little vendor shirt. I'm actually on my way to the gym because even political science geeks need to go weightlift and go get some aerobic activity in every now and then, so yeah. So today I'm going to be talking about the French election. I'm not going to be discussing like how the French elections work or the mechanics of the election itself because there are a lot of good resources for those sorts of things, so that's not really my intention. What I'm talking about today specifically is going to be the polling surrounding the French elections, because a lot of people are a bit freaked out that Marine Le Pen is in the runoff and they're a little bit like, what, she's going to win. The thing is though that the polls are showing that Macron is very, very solidly in the lead, but people are very, very skeptical about the polls, which is why I thought we would make this video, which is the core of it, the takeaway message, the TLDR is calm down. More likely than not, Macron is going to win. I'm actually right next to the community dog park, so if you hear some barking, it's because there's some really adorable puppers just having at it with some ball and string. It's just adorable. And by and large, we can imagine most electorates having kind of a bell curve, right? You know, something being a normal distribution where you have more people towards the middle and more people far out. Le Pen is pretty far out, and Macron is pretty centrist. He's actually going to be able to get a whole bunch of the people closer and closer to the middle, which is where more people tend to reside. This is both reflected in the aggregate polls and in the exit poll data coming out of France right now, which is saying that if the contest were to happen today, then Macron would beat out Le Pen by about 20 points. But Peter, you may be thinking, because you are just a very intelligent and good-looking interlocutor, hello you, very happy that you're watching this, you may be thinking that 20-point gaps are not totally insurmountable when it comes to the polls. Think back to Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton in Michigan in the primaries, where Bernie Sanders overcame a 20-point gap plus in a victory that was almost entirely unprecedented. Primary elections don't tend to get more than maybe 20% of the people out the door, while the French election has 80%. And the problem with polling, right, is it's a random sample. Because the primary polls had a harder time picking out the people who actually were going to participate in the primaries, it's much easier for an upset to happen than an election where you actually have a good amount of turnout, where a random sampling schema is going to more readily and accurately pick up the kind of people who are going to vote. Not just that, but there have actually been way more polls going on in France than were going on in the Michigan primary election. I mean, the more that they're able to sample, the better chances that they're going to be right. And they've done a lot of samples, and these samples are hovering around that 20-point gap. Change camera angles so that way the sun would be less variable. The media is going to be trying to portray this long, easy narrative, which goes along the lines of we were wrong about Brexit, we were wrong about Trump, could we also be wrong about Le Pen? And the idea behind this is that we were wrong with Brexit because it was, you know, kind of a far-right thing, and we were wrong with Trump because he is a far-right individual, and maybe we're wrong because Le Pen too is farther right, and we are not necessarily able to kind of keep up with the strain and tensions of globalization. Our traditional methods are unable to really pick up on the woes of the normal individual, the average Joe, the silent majority. It's an interesting theory, and there have definitely been strains and stresses that have come along with globalization over the past few decades, but to say that this is going to happen because we've been wrong in the past, you know, doesn't really treat these as independent as they are. Because believe it or not, France is a different place than the United States, and a different place than than Britain and in the UK in general. So like they're different cases, right? General themes may be playing out within them all, but we have to take into consideration their individual tendencies, right? Because you have a higher turnout in France, which facilitate better polling, and because you have more polls done, which leads to better averages, and because you have these individuals who place themselves at different point on the ideological spectrum, which facilitate people leaning more towards the center, and because you have individual differences at the regional and district levels that I'm not even going to go into in this video, France is different. Le Pen, Macron, they are different, and this election, more likely than not, is going to turn out to be towards the moderate. You'll notice that I say more likely than not, because again, this is a probabilistic science, right? We can't say anything with certainty, and I think that there's a certain leeriness that one should have when someone says X is going to happen and so is going to win because look at the polls. Is it possible for Le Pen to overcome Macron in the next couple of days? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And that could be facilitated by a media who is eager to make her chances appear better than they actually are, to facilitate easily digestible narratives. But if I was a betting man, and I am not because I have a wedding to save for, my money, the heap of it, would be on Macron. Like, is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No. And these sorts of things, you gotta go with what's likely. So what do you guys think about the French elections, polling, and the narratives that are surrounding about it? I'm really excited to see you guys' thoughts about this, especially because it's so timely and it is such an interesting topic that intersects so many of the other things that we've talked about on this channel. So looking forward to what you guys have to say about it. Thanks for everything that I kind of rambled about way down in the doobly-doo. We also have a Twitter, a Facebook, and a blog, and links for those will be down there as well. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, I hope you'll consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, and maybe clicking the bell to be notified when more content is posted. As always, thanks for watching. and I'll see you next time.